Sir, we are live now.
We start, Kumar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our speaker of this session, sir, Dr. Rakhi Ves, madam, is there, sir, in meeting. Madam, please switch on your video and unmute your audio, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Okay.
Madam, good afternoon to everyone. So post-lunch session started session 1B, that is virtual tour to departments and scientific presentations. So with us Dr. Rakhi Vaish madam and Dr. Payal Jain madam. Both are there. So they will speak about their departmental tour. I request Dr. Rakhi Vaish madam, please continue your topic, madam. Present. Madam, Dr. Rakhi Vaish madam, you can continue your topic, madam. That is right to development of veterinary anatomy department.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah, you are audible, madam.
A very good afternoon to all. Myself, Dr. Rakhi Vaish, on behalf of Department of Veterinary Anatomy, College of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Jabalpur, welcome today's chief guest, Dr. G.K. Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the DU Mathura, distinguished guest, Professor Padmanabha Reddy, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University, Tirupati. Patron of this e-conference, Dr. T.S. Chandrasekhar Rao, sir. Organizing committee, Dr. P.V.S. Kishore, sir. And chairman as well as associate dean of the college, Professor A. Ravi. I welcome to all of you, sir. I'm thankful to the organizing committee to give to project our department at national level. Thank you, sir. And I'm going to present on a topic, a right to the development of veterinary anatomy department. Veterinary anatomy is a foundation stone upon which all the veterinary course is built. Aristotle, the father of comparative anatomy, performed the dissection on variety of animals. We, the anatomists, started dissection on the animals in 18th and 19th century. Thus, the dissection became the most prominent feature of anatomical studies. However, looking to the ethical issues and adverse effect of the formalin, now we are moving towards the alternative methods for anatomical studies. And in the current era, the dissection is seen as old-fashioned as well as outdated in light of virtualization. Thus, there is increase in the importance of the museum to overcome these limitations. In the ancient era, the museum were in the form of cabinet of curiosities, and the things are placed in this cabinet for display to satisfy the curiosities of the person. Later on, the specimens were prepared by treating the animal body by different chemicals as well as human bodies. This is the wax model of the lady anatomist. Now we are moving in 3D specimens. Please have a look. Now about the historical background of the department. First of all, about the college. The college was established in 1948. Then it's done under the University of JNKVV, that is Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya till 2009. After that, the university gets separated from the JNKV and renamed as the Nanaji Deshmukh Veterinary Science University, Jabalpur, since 2009. The department was established in 1948 along with the establishment of the college, and the founder HOD of the department was Dr. H.N. Chelva Iyengar. He was so dedicated personality. His work on the fowl is cited by the Gatti's anatomy textbook of veterinary anatomy, as well as he did lot of work on the anatomy of ox and performed continuous dissection. Thus, his research, his studies was published in the ICR book, that is the Anatomy of Ox. He had major contribution in that book. The next HOD of the department was Dr. N.M. Jamdar. He was so disciplined anatomist, and he did his MS from Illinois and spent about 15 years in Nigeria as an anatomist. Later on, Dr. A.M. Srivastava took the seat of the HOD. He was the founder president of Indian Association of Veterinary Anatomists. He was so meticulous during his studies, and same was expecting from his students. Thus, he was remembered by his students till date. Why? Because he as a great anatomist as well as great teacher. Then Dr. M.R. Malik, Dr. M.L. Parmar, and Dr. J.S. Taluja, they are these HODs of the department, and they perform very well in the department, and there is lot of contribution of these fellow for the upgradation of the department. Now about the virtual tour of the department. The Department of Veterinary Anatomy, Jabalpur, has different segments or different lab, like osteology lab, dissection hall, histology lab, histochemistry, and PG lab combinedly, as well as museum. Now we are going to start histochemistry, immunohistochemistry lab for our PG student also. As we know, the museum is the integral part of the Department of Anatomy. Here in our department, we are also having the museum, which is having different components. One segment is the osteological section, another is the wet specimen section, and another is a segment for the dry specimen. Please have a look on this museum. We are having almost all the skeleton of domestic animals, like skeleton of ox, horse, dog, fowl, pig, buffalo, and fowl, as well as including the skeleton of camel, cat, and rabbit. We also have the skeleton of wild animals. We have 2 skeletons of tiger, monkey, and elephant calf also. This is the wet specimen section. We have arranged the specimens on the basis of different systems, as well as simultaneously comparative to see the comparison between the different organs or system. Here we place the different organs like brain, kidneys of different animals, as well as heart and liver of different animals. In poultry section, we are having different system of fowl displayed in our wet specimen section. We are enriched with the wild specimens of wild animals. Here you can see the fetus of spotted deer, monkey. We are having a specimen of varieties of snakes, as well as civet cat, monitor lizard, etc. In embryological section, we are having the fetus as well as fetuses of goat, sheep, cow, and other animals also. Now we have started to prepare the dry specimens. This is the formalin fumigated specimen of stomach of goat. We have also prepared other specimens. Apart from this, we are having the models of different organs of the animals as well as cow model. We started the preparation of cast, having the lung cast of the goat, as well as recently we have prepared the kidney cast of goat. We started the preparation of the plastinated specimen. This is the plastinated specimen of the kidney of calf, as well as we are having the specimens of brain and other organs also. Looking to the current scenario, we also have started the taxidermy. Here, initially we have started the taxidermy of the small animals and having the trophies of squirrel, then Chihuahua breed of dog, then cattle egret and this parrot. We are also having trophies of the rabbit and albino rat. Now we are going to perform the taxidermy on monkey as well as dog. We are having the specimen which is kept in the deep freezer. As we anatomists are very well convinced with the fact that there is no as such alternative for the dissection. Looking to this, I propose a project under the Build Body program to the MP government and got a project. The budget of the project is approximately more than 1 crore. Under this project, this renovation as well as infrastructure work is going on. Recently, we have one webinar that is on taxidermy. In 2006, we had a conference in our department. We have published 2 manuals under MSVE 2016. Now, I thank to the organizing committee and invite Dr. Payal Jain for further presentation.
Thank you, madam, for your presentation and virtual tour of the department. Very nicely you presented.
Thank
Payal
you.
Jain, madam, Dr. Payal Jain, madam, please continue.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to all of you. And would like to give thanks to my ma'am to provide me such a nice opportunity to bring the teaching aids and research facility in front of IAVA conference members. As from the previous presentation, it becomes very clear that the development of any department requires a lot of efforts, time, and dedication of the resource person. And being a teacher, anatomy teacher, it is very much required that we should provide easy learning to the students and provide information in an easy manner to the student. So in this area, we work with the development of the different teaching aids in our department. The first and foremost teaching aid we develop is a comparative board preparation for different bones of different species. As you can see here that the boards are prepared for the forelimb bones and they provide a comparative look at a glance to the student so that student can easily learn the differentiating features of different species, as well as it helps to justify the vetro legal cases comes to the department as well as for the students in the future field services. Along with this, we also prepared the boards for the hind limb bones to provide the comparative information. Other than this, we also prepared some rotating specimen of the bones, as the bones are very well marked with the different markers, and these markers are depicted on a chart. And these bones and chart helps as a self-explanatory manner to the student for the explanation of bone as well as enhance the understanding of the students. We also prepared the colored specimen of the different skull, which helps to the student to understand the different bones of different breeds of skull, as well as this kind of study help to study the ethnic diversity of the different skull in a department, to the student, as well as it also helps to differentiate and vetrolegal cases, because we also have the skull of different wild species. As all of you become aware that nowadays technique running at a fast pace, and it is very much required that we should add some innovative technique for the preparation as well as learning to the student. In this area, we work with the development and innovative technique for the preparation of skeleton of small mammals as well as birds, since in our previous conservative methods as burying or maceration, we lost the bones, as well as bones get disarticulated, and the proper articulation of these bones is become a tough job. So the specimen of small mammals and birds is prepared by using the red ant available in the soil of the Jabalpur agroclimatic region, and this belongs to the genus Solenopsis. And these ants eat out the flesh within 1 to 3 weeks time period and leave the skeleton, as which can be cleaned with any oxidizing material. And this technique helps to prepare a properly articulated specimen of small mammals and birds. Here you can see a skeleton of zebra finch prepared in our department. Since our department is very old, a lot of research work carried out in our department, and about 35 to 40 dissertations were completed. But nowadays, I would like to attract your attention toward the current research scenario in our department. We are mainly working on the developmental aspect of the different system of the Kadaknath breed. Kadaknath breed is the native breed of the Madhya Pradesh. It present in the Jhabua and Dhar district of MP, and it is named as Black Masi. That means the presence of black color of flesh. As all of you are aware that melanin is a pigment that is responsible for the coloration of the skin coat. But in this breed, it was found that not other than the exterior, interior is also black because of the presence of the visceral melanosis. So we are working on this area, and we find out the interesting migration of the melanocytes and melanoblasts during the pre-pivotal pre-hatch time and after the hatching. These are the few dissertations which completed in our department in the last few years, and we worked on the especially developmental aspect of the digestive system of Kadaknath breed, female reproductive system, and we also compared these female reproductive system and digestive system of Kadaknath fowl with the white leghorn fowl, that is the standard exotic breed of the fowl. We also perform histological, histochemical, and structure studies of mammary gland in prenatal and postnatal stages. As in the slide you can see, the black coloration was present in the chick even though at the 12th day of incubation, and this black coloration was enhanced as soon as we reaches at the 21st days of incubation, and this is due to the presence of melanoblast in the pre-hatch period. And during the study, it was also found that the black coloration of the these birds in the reproductive tract fades out at the older age, as it was found that the melanin may be contradictory to the reproductive tract, and this bird is late breeder, become in the reproductive ability at the after the 20 weeks of age. Here you can see the migration of the melanoblast through the ventral mesentery to the developing left ovary. The migration of melanin is not only confined to the this medullary part of the ovary, but it also extends to the cortical region of the ovary. And through the cortical region, it further migrated to the capsule of the ovary. It was found interesting that the presence of this melanoblast is not only confined to the ovary part, but it also migrated to the developing follicles. Here you can see the presence of the melanin at the exterior of the follicle, especially in the theca externa cell layer, but it is not migrated in the yolk or granulosa cell layer. The developmental work of prenatal mammary gland of goat was also performed in the department, and we studied prenatal as well as postnatal mammary gland. And it was found that the prenatal development was take place through the development of the streaks and bud formation. During the early puberty, these mammary gland having the fat pad, adipose cells are very much clearly seen. And in the late puberty, these adipose cells or fat pad is channelized by the presence of canalization or tube formation as well as alveoli formation. Along with this, the accessory glands were also noticed in the gland cisternae of the mammary gland. And keratin plaque was noticed, which is considered as the secondary defense mechanism in case of mammary gland. And goat is considered as a mobile refrigerator. And during the study, it was found that as soon as, since it was said that as soon as gland cisternae get filled, the goat are ready for the milk ejection. And it happens because of the well-developed elastic fibers are present in the teat, and the sphincter muscles are less developed. Ultrastructural study of mammary gland of goat was also performed through the AIMS, and it was found that how the milk synthesis takes place and how the milk ejection occurs. And protein granules were noticed in the exterior part as well as in the cell itself, as well as fat lobules were also noticed. Other than these research work, we are also working on the wild animals in collaboration of the wildlife department available in the college. And we worked on the different bones of the tiger and leopards and prepared comparative chart for the explanation of these bones in a comparative manner. Here you can see a skull chart of a tiger and leopard. And likewise, we also prepared the differentiating charts of different bones of forelimb and hind limb. And we are also planning to publish a monologue in future for the comparative study of different bones of tiger and leopards. So I would like to conclude the topic as the development of the department is a very tedious process. It requires a lot of work and patience. So we young faculty can work under the guidance of the seniors to establish a well-developed department and add innovative ideas and new techniques to understand the nature's fabric and to explain it to the students. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I would take this opportunity to express my gratitude of thanks to the organizing committee to conduct such a nice web conference. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Rakhi Vaish and Dr. Payal Jain for their very good presentation about their college and the scientific research, what is going on in their campus, in the anatomy department. So, thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Rakhi Vaish and Payal Jain.
Sir,
Any questions from?
Just
Any
few
questions
questions are
from-
there. Sir, apart from the appraisal for the presentation made by both the Dr. Rakhi ma'am and Dr. Payal ma'am, a few questions are there. Out of that, I am picking only two, which are more relevant to the presentation, ma'am. First question was that, as explained, that ants are being used for clearing of the skeleton. The question is whether these ants are eating the ligaments and other tissues apart from the musculature or not, or how we can control the consumptions of the tissues, because these are the binding material for the skeleton.
Okay, answer for the first question. As we know, the ligament and ligaments are made up of this collagen fibers. More than 90% collagen fibers are present in the ligaments. So there is a controlled digestion by the ant. We keep these birds or small animals in controlled manner. So the small birds can be digested. All the musculature of the small birds can be digested within 1 month, and it also depends on the temperature of this ambient temperature. So we have to look to see the digestion process for controlled manner. So they are not able to digest the ligaments and tendon, particularly
Okay, ma'am.
ligament.
So what is the difference between the typical maceration method what we follow for getting bones and the skeleton, ma'am, other than this one?
In case of small birds and small animals, if we perform the maceration, the whole bone get loosed and is articulated. Here, in case of small birds, it is very difficult to make the skeleton by maceration process, because if the bone get loosened, then it is we are not able to articulate it again, because they are very fragile. Thus, this is a very important technique for the preparation of the small skeleton of small birds and small animals.
Okay, this is very good information actually, like how to do the process biologically, because this is a natural instinct of the ants to eat these type of things. And another question is there, ma'am, about the Kadaknath breed that explained by Dr. Payal Jain, madam, that what is the significance of melanosis in these birds?
Actually, melanosis is the genetic character. In the Kadaknath is the native bird of this Madhya Pradesh, and it has inherent quality of the melanosis. And this visual melanosis is seen because of the migration of the melanoblast through the ventral mesentery. We are working on molecular aspect of this, how this transport, and if we this block the migration of the melanocyte, what is the effect on the reproductive quality of the Kadaknath? Okay, thank you.
Okay, ma'am. So
Thank you,
these are the
madam.
questions about these presentations. Sir, you
Thank you.
can carry on, sir, now.
Okay, sir. Okay, Tomar. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your presentations. Next presentation is by Dr. Usha Kumari, madam, from Chennai. I request Dr. Usha Kumari, madam, please present your topic, madam.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Sir,
Can you-
Usha Kumar is now co-host. She can share the screen.
Okay. Okay, sir. One minute, sir. I am just.
Okay, madam.
Okay. Can you able to see my PowerPoint, sir? No.
No, madam. Share your screen, madam. That's all.
Okay, I am trying. 1 minute. It is not highlighting that. One minute. Sir. So now can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, madam. It's coming.
Yes, ma'am, it is coming now.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. Before starting my presentation, I like to thank my Dean, Madras Veterinary College, who has permitted me to attend this web conference, as well as I am very much grateful to Dr. Kishore, Organizing Secretary, who has given the opportunity to present the virtual tour of my department. I am very much grateful and thankful to him. And it is a wonderful idea what he has shared through this web conference, so that so many people can visualize the other veterinary departments, veterinary anatomy departments of other colleges who never have a chance to visit them. So it is a wonderful idea, Dr. Kishore. I am once again thanking you. Then I will continue my presentation. So Madras Veterinary College, before going to my department, veterinary anatomy, the Madras Veterinary College has been started during the year 1903 under the British regime. Then after that, some years, that is 1936, the Madras Veterinary College has been becoming affiliated to the University of Madras. Then during formation of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, then it became the constituent colleges of Tamil Nadu, College of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. Then during the year 1989, that Chief Minister of then Tamil Nadu state has announced the first veterinary university of our India. So 1989, the Tamil Nadu prestigious Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Sciences University has been started. Then we'll go to my department. That is, it is also started Department of Veterinary Anatomy. Madras Veterinary College has been started during the year 1903 along with the college itself. So this, if you see this before also, the Madras Veterinary College campus. This is the Madras University campus that is held in, situated at Madhavaram. Then this is the Madras Veterinary College picture. This is also one of the heritage building. Similarly, that our department also, that building also, this red building also comes under the heritage building. So that means 100 years old and it is declared as heritage building by the archaeology department. So this is a small video, which is So this is a small video which is taken during the year 2012. So I had a chance to look into and add it into my presentation. So now I am doing the same thing, little bit revised one anyway. So what are the infrastructure what we have right now? So this is already I have explained, this heritage building started during the year 1903 it seems. Then this is a British era building. That means it is constructed in a nice idea with the idea of future scope and expansion. If you see the lecture hall, it will accommodate more than 120 students, nearly 130 or even 140 students can sit and listen the lecture. And if you see that the roof, everything is built by heavy iron rails and hooks for the suspending the cadavers during our dissection. So this is a well-established building. It can be useful for dissection purpose as well as for the lecture classes, as well as even conducting osteology, splanology. All the practical classes are conducted in this wonderful dissection hall. And if this is during 1970s, it is added, another building is added to the old building. So this is called as new anatomy block, and the older one is called old anatomy block. In the new anatomy block, only we are having staff rooms and another lecture halls and PG labs, computer lab, everything is attached with the new anatomy block, which is built during the 1970s. So if you go to PG lab, it is well-equipped PG lab, what we are having, and all the necessary items or necessary equipments for our histology and histochemistry, all the things are kept in this PG lab. And we have sludge microscope and my microtome and other microtomes and photography equipments, everything is kept in this lab. This is also a new additional modified lab and latest addition to this well-equipped PG lab is the multi-head microscope. So now we are viewing the multi-head microscope under the FISP program. So next, if we are going to upstairs, this is in the downstairs what we are having. In the upstairs, if you see into the infrastructure, there also a well-established histology practical lab is there. So in the video also you have seen some persons or students are watching the microscope in this table, because during the COVID period nobody is there, so I cannot take the picture along with the students. Otherwise, nearly 80 students can be accommodated at a time in this histology practical lab. Then nearby to the histology practical lab, another lab is there that is also accommodating nearly 80 or even 100 people can sit in this lab. It's only a part of the lab. I am just showing it this. And this can be converted even into UG lecture as well as PG lecture hall we are using for those purposes. So now we are going to see the museum, and this picture, this is a picture shows the specimen of hind limb is prepared by Dr. Selva Iyengar during the year 1925. So more than 80 years or nearly 80 years it is, still it is keeps on good condition. We don't know the technique, how they have established this type of, even the names are engraved on the muscles. So we can study the nerves, blood vessels and muscles at a time during, if you are using this specimen. Then we have wonderful collection of skulls of various animals, including our native breeds, as well as we are having the skulls of native breeds of cattle and dog, everything. Then apart from that, we are adding the skulls of camels and even dolphins. We are just, few years back, we added to the museum. And these are the few samples of specimens or the rare specimens what we are having. So one of the elephant tooth we are having. Other than that, even the animals, the wild animals, elephant kidney is there, all the organs, lion, tiger. So all the, what are the possible organs we would have collected, that is collected by earlier our senior faculties and kept it in the museum. And if you see the right side, the dog specimen is there along with the muscles and nerves. Everything is dissected and kept. The peculiarity of this specimen is there are the names of muscles and everything is written on the correct, in the same place. That means facial muscles are described on its own place. So like that, there is no separate labeling. Labeling is done within the skeleton. And this is also more than 80 years old specimen what we are having. All these dry specimens are done by Dr. Selva Iyengar. And now we are adding the specimens of taxidermy, including this. If you see that taxidermy specimens are there, then plastinations are there, plastinated specimens are there. So we are adding little one by one to our museum. And this is the latest addition. For the purpose of studying, one side we have painted, the other side is unpainted, so that they can compare the special characteristic feature of this bone. So this is the idea. Instead of painting entire bone, if that is half of the bone is painted, so that simultaneously compare the anatomical features in that. So this is the latest addition to our museum. Then regarding embryological specimen, we have so many sheep and goat fetuses in our museum. And this is a rare specimen. That means the elephant calf of 7 months old. So that is kept, even I am studying, that is during 80s itself, it is there. So previously only it was collected and kept as a specimen. So we are only preserving these specimens, and all the embryological and teratology specimens are kept in our museum for UG and PG study purpose. And these are the two additions we have given to our Centenary Museum, Madras Veterinary College. This is done by our faculty and PG students. That time the PG students were there. So those, along with our guidance, they have made it. And this is elephant and this is ostrich skeletons are added to our Centenary Museum. That is contributed by our department. So these are the infrastructure and museum specimens and museum what we are having. So regarding education, every year 120 students are allowed into the UG program. So they are directly coming to our department and learning. And regarding PG education, it is started, PG program is started at the year of 1958. And so far 55 PG theses are completed in our department. And regarding PhD program, it is started in the year of 1989. So far, we have completed 19 PhD theses and ongoing PhD theses are 5. So then coming to the digital teaching aids, especially for the UG education, I can proudly say that we have started in the India, and I think we have only started this type of digital teaching aids during the year 2000. From 2002 itself, we have started for the initiation. And first we have developed the multimedia, that is a dissection of COUGH. Later on, it is added by eAtlas. Then we contributed e-learning resources to our e-learning program. And virtual dissection of COUGH is also we have done. And we have done the mobile app regarding the eye and brain. We have done in mobile app. And still our work is continuing to reach this, some more additions, including augmented and virtual reality. We are going to do that. So these are the digital teaching aids from our department. So regarding the research, I already told that how many of PG and PhD theses we have finished, but overall what we have finished is we are focusing mainly on the buffalo, Madras red sheep, goat and avian. Avian includes the white leghorn, guinea fowl and Japanese quail. So regarding laboratory animal includes almost all the laboratory animals. We have already completed gross and micro anatomy of visceral organ, including the sense organ also we have finished in these species. And some of the ultrastructure study also we have done. And we can proudly say that we have completed research on organs of the Madras red sheep native of our state. Then research continues on this morphogenesis and histogenesis of various organs, including the avian, that includes already I told 2-3 species, and sheep and laboratory animals also we have completed morphogenesis and histogenesis of various organs. Now we have focused our research towards the clinical anatomy, including the imaging techniques and ECG, particularly in native breeds of dog. The dogs which are I focused in my PowerPoint is Rajapalayam and the Kombai and Kanni, so many Chippipare. So all these dogs are considered as the native breeds of Tamil Nadu. So now the focusing is given to those breeds because basic data on these imaging techniques and ECG, everything is not there. So we are going for ultrasonography and the ECG and other things, X-rays. Then now we are planning to go for CT, computer tomography on brain and other visceral organs during our further PG studies. We are aiming it. The other major research area for our department is in collaboration with Stem Cell Research Department. So we have done culture and expansion and differentiation of adipose-derived mesenchymal stem cells in the ovine from various sources we have already done through our MEAC thesis. Then another work, pioneer work is done on canine hair follicle derived stem cells because the literature is very much limited in this. So we have advanced into that and we finished our MEAC thesis. Then hemopoietic stem cells from peripheral blood, that also we have done during our MEAC thesis. So our focus is now mainly going to the clinical oriented research. And research project completed is, first thing is the establishment of histology and histochemistry unit. That is a very long period it was there. It is supported by our Tamil Nadu government. The next is supported by Tanuvas, our university project funded. That is the virtual dissection of ox. Then university sub-projects. Now our assistant professor, one of our assistant professors is handling this. The books published is nearly 6 and lecture material is 12. Then more than 250 scientific article has been published so far. Then our resource persons, Dr. Geeta Ramesh has undergone 3 months training on our developmental anatomy in the University of Liverpool, UK. Then followed by Dr. Sabia Hayat Basha, again 3 months training for stem cell research and regenerative medicine in USA. Then followed by Dr. T.A. Kannan. He has also undergone 3 months training on program on stem cell research, particularly cellular reprogramming, and in the Michigan State University, USA. So these are the overseas training from our department. So next is the extension activity. We do conducting lectures and hands-on training in various clinical training programs conducted in our Madras Veterinary College, particularly in OG and therapeutics and surgery. So every training program, we used to give lectures and hands-on training. Then we are giving opinions to the veterinary cases, and we are transferring our knowledge or extending our knowledge to the medical and life science graduate. Even our faculty members are included in their research guides, the co-advisory members as co-advisory members in medical colleges and life sciences, as well as including the dental college also. We are doing some research along with them. Then conducting and participating the science exhibition. Every year the scientific exhibition will be conducted by state government. So in that we are participating in every year, and so much of appreciation is coming through the school students and college students particularly. And this is photos taken during our exhibition conducting in the World Veterinary Year 2011. So if you see the crowd itself, we can say how much the popularity we gained through this exhibition. And every day, even thousands of students were visiting our exhibition during this World Veterinary Year 2011 exhibition. Then conferences. So first IAVA conference on seminar on anatomy and its application was conducted during the year 1983 in our Madras Veterinary College, conducted by our department. The next IAVA conference is conducted during the year 2000, that is the 15th annual convention of IAVA on indispensable anatomy, a dispensing tool in veterinary science. The title itself is wonderful for that conference. So next one is the next conference is the mid-annual IAVA conference during the year 2002. Is based, focusing on use of alternatives in veterinary anatomy. So these three conferences were conducted by our department. So this board displays all the HODs during particular period, starting from Selva Iyengar to Dr. Geeta Ramesh, Dr. Selva Iyengar to Dr. Geeta Ramesh. These are the HODs, those who are heading the post of HOD here in this department, and along with other senior faculties, Dr. P.S. Lalita, Dr. Venkatakrishnan and Dr. M. Mukappan and Dr. Imbraj Cyrus and all other senior anatomists are our forcing, who are motivating us during not the older, the later, that is, we are from Dr. Lalita period and Dr. Venkatakrishnan, Vijayaraman sir, Mukappan sir, only we are on Dr. Sheshadri for particular period. We were under him, and because of their motivation, we can do at least maintain the prestige of our department along with all other senior anatomists. And one particular thing I have to insist here, Dr. Imbraj Cyrus was not an anatomist. Actually, he was the pharmacologist, but he has contributed much in teaching, and almost he were with us for so many years and guided us. So I included his name also without forgetting him. And present team is by me, that is headed by me, Dr. Susha Kumari, and professors Dr. Sabia Hayat Basha and Dr. Oya Satyamurthy and Dr. Jnana Devi, assistant professor. Then we are getting extended help from Dr. Geeta Ramesh, who is now as Director of Distance Education, as well as Dr. T.A. Kannan, who is heading the Department of Education Cell. So thank you. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, madam. Your presentation is excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Your departmental tour and scientific research what you are conducting in your department, all are excellent, madam. They are excelling in
Thank
their
you.
fields. Thank you, madam. Any questions from the participants? Any questions from the participants?
No,
Soma,
sir.
please check
Questions.
chat box.
Yes, sir. No questions are there, sir. But the lot of appraisal is there for the Madras Veterinary College, especially Department of Veterinary Anatomy. And it was very good to know, ma'am, that your department is participating in general science exhibitions.
Yes,
I
sir.
think this is the one only. This is the one department only who is participating in these type of generalized type of exhibitions. Normally, we
Yeah,
like
correct.
in Ludhiana and Haryana, those colleges they are participating in the farmer fairs. But in general science exhibitions, I think this is the good idea to popularize our profession as well as our subject among the local people of the states, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very nice presentation, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next presentation by our organizing secretary, Dr. Professor P.V.S. Kishore, regarding the anatomy department, Gannavaram. I request Dr. P.V.S. Kishore to present his topic, virtual tour to the department.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Raju. Before going to my presentation, we are really happy that Jabalpur and Chennai have given very good presentations. And Jabalpur being from 1948 onwards, we were very happy to see the wax model of Rebecca Mesbarger. I think youngsters would never have thought of that. That wax model was very nice, and it is really very good to note that they could get a project worth rupees 1 crore towards the wild body program or cadavers or building up the infrastructure of the department. It was a really nice one, madam. And coming to Chennai, nothing that we need to tell. It's history. 1903 and journey to this. Madam Usha Kumari showed us a 85-year-old specimen, which is really a wonder. One should really take time when they visit to Chennai to go to the department and see. And the heritage buildings, I think we can see only in Mumbai, Chennai, or Kolkata, I think. Those three only will be, I think, heritage buildings in India. And the Centenary Museum is really excellent. The number of PG students, about 55 MBSc and 19 PhD that graduated from the portals of the university is really exemplary. And there was nothing that they left, including the digital teaching aids that were produced and the focus on stem cell technology. In fact, they were one of the first ones to have a separate stem cell laboratory. And the first IAVA conference also being held by them. So I think it would have been very, very, very good for the students to come to know about a heritage building for an anatomy department. And it's a real privilege to have this virtual tour, madam. So before I go to my actual presentation, I really thank these two presenters who have really shown a very good presentation of their department. And it was really something that we can only dream of. So thank you, madams, for this. And we had a very good time.
Thank you. Sir.
visiting your departments over the web. Thank you both.
Thank you. Sir.
Okay, and as a host, I have taken the last place to project my department's virtual tour. And what you have seen till now, like morning, what you have seen, 1955, that was when both Thrissur and Tirupati started. And 1948, Jabalpur, and they have completed their what to say, golden jubilee and silver jubilee, moving towards the platinum jubilee. And you see the Madras Veterinary College crossed the century way back in 2003. But now you will be seeing a very young college which has not even come towards the silver jubilee. So I am proud to present about the College of Veterinary Science, Kannavaram, from where we are hosting this. I think my PowerPoint is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, it is visible.
this is the Department of Veterinary Anatomy from the College of Veterinary Science, Kannavaram. I'm maximizing my PPT. So we are just opposite to the Vijayawada International Airport. So I thought I will title it A Flight Towards Excellence. So I'll present you a virtual tour of this young department. So this is the college main building, exactly opposite to the Vijayawada International Airport on the Chennai-Kolkata National Highway. So this department started along with the establishment of the college in the year 1998, and you see till now only 18 BVSC and AH batches graduated out, and with a lot of difficulties, we could start the PG program only in the year 2009, and till date only 10 MBSCs graduated, and there are 3 MBSc students who are pursuing their research. And we started our PhD program in 2015, and 2 students took their PhD, and we now have 1 PhD scholar. This being a very young department, we only had 1 senior anatomist, Dr. S. Gopinath. He is now no more, and he was the one who was there for some time between 1999 and 2001. Of course, I said earlier that it started in 1998, and I was the founder faculty in this anatomy department. But Dr. Gopinath sir was the professor and head from 1999 to 2001, and he was the guiding force behind us. And he was my advisory committee member also in my MBS. So he was the only senior anatomist who worked in this college. So the present staff strength is myself, Dr. P.V.S. Bishop, I'm heading the department, and my colleague, Professor Dr. N.K.B. Rajan, who is also now the coordination secretary, and Dr. M.P.S. Roman, who is the rapporteur. And we have 3 more faculty members, Dr. G.S.S. Chandana, Dr. K. Raja, and Dr. K. Archana, and all of them have gone on external deputation for their PhD program. So at the moment, we are only 3 faculty members here. So right from beginning, we try to make a difference. And the ideas conceptualized initially in the year 2003, when I was awarded the Humane Education Award 2003. It was named so because it was in the year 2003 by International Network for Humane Education, England. And we were only 4 people in the country who got this Humane Education Award in 2003. One was a medicine professor from Jammu Medical College. Another was a zoology professor from Madras Christian College. And another was a pharmacology professor from Jigmar, Pondicherry. So, as part of the award, we 4 of us got way back in the 2003, we were given an amount of rupees 1 lakh. And that sowed the seed for our humane methods or the humane approaches, because the award itself is Humane Education Award. So with that, we purchased fiber optic resin models as non-animal alternatives. So this funding sowed the seed to see that we ventured into the non-animal alternatives way back in 2003. And another good initiation or an innovative methodology is in 2007-8, I was having an idea that in the entire veterinary anatomy, most of us deal with domestic animals and birds. And only if you see in the pharma industry or biotech industry, they do the research on laboratory animals. Then I thought, why not we do research on laboratory animals? Of course, I was a member of NASA and I am CPCC nominee of the Ministry of Environment and Forests. So with the lab animal exposure that I had, I thought we would start research on laboratory animals in the field of veterinary anatomy. So I put up a project proposal to Biocon. At that time, they were announcing some fellowship grants. So I put up a proposal that being a veterinary anatomist, I'd like to start research on laboratory animals in veterinary colleges in the anatomy department. Erstwhile, only the pharmacology departments and few instances, microbiology departments were doing research on lab animals. But when I put up my proposal, that I said I would document something that will be of useful for other researchers. I got a grant from Biocon Bangalore. I'll project that in the next slide. So this happened in 2009 when we initiated the research on laboratory animals. Then the real breakthrough, what I felt was with all the years of conception, ideas, and hard work that we have done. Last year, that is in 2019, of course, we started in 2017 and we could end up in 2019 that we could consolidate on the concept of build body program, where we have the cadaver and organ donation and the cadaver embalming techniques and the use of freezers. So the 2 years of hard work that we did saw to it that we could consolidate on the build body program, and I'll show about that in the next slide also, what we have done. Concurrent with that, what fiber optic resin models we could do in 2003 and what we were learning about 3D printed alternatives in these days, I thought I should find an alternative to the 3D printed alternatives, which are really costlier. So we took up another innovative thing like making non-animal alternatives engraved on teak. And you know, Vijayawada is a place where you have a village called Kondapalli, and the Kondapalli toys are very famous across the globe, and they even have a patent. So I thought, let me see that can I engrave wooden models like the fiber optic resin models or the erstwhile plaster of Paris models, which were fragile, which would break, and which did not have a long shelf life. So somehow it so materialized that we could get engraved teak wood models which served as non-animal alternatives. And as I have told you, since 2017, when I started this build body program concept is one of the aspect of that was digitization of laboratories, because multiple monitor viewing is the order of the day wherever we see, whether it is functions or anything. Why not we put it to use in our laboratories with the digitization? I will be showing you all the fix. This also happened concurrently with that. And another aspect is having a YouTube channel. So with all these four aspects in mind that you see at serial number 3, 4, 5, 6, I had the confidence that we could project it at a national level. And on behalf of the university, I propose to organize a national workshop exclusively on the will body itself. So at that time, we started this YouTube channel also. So I talked about the research on laboratory animals. You can see at serial number 2 and 3. The initial one was the alternatives in education through the Humane Education Award, and the funding from International Network for Humane Education was that 1 lakh rupees. And if you see the PG fellowship grant for the proposal that I submitted to Biocon, it went to Kiran Majumdar Shah, who is the proprietor of that. And the proposal was accepted. And for postgraduate research on laboratory animals, I got a PG fellowship grant of $8,000 US. And with that, I saw that the PG program also started in the College of Veterinary Sciences, Kannavaram, in the same year, projecting all this to my universities. And successfully, we have completed a study on the stomach of a rat. And incidentally, that work got an award. I will show you in the coming slides. So when we have presented this in front of the LASA conference that was held in Bangalore, where Biocon representatives were also there, I submitted another proposal again to Biocon Bangalore for the same postgraduate research on laboratory animals, and they gave us $9,000 US. And with that, another of my PG students did a good work on the rat again. And it was novel in the sense that normally we know the 3 male accessory sex glands, but in the rodents, you have 2 additional ones, the coagulating gland and the preputial glands. The work was on that, and we presented it to Biocon, and they were impressed. And mind you, I will be telling that till that point of time, most of the veterinary colleges in the country might not be having a separate animal house building. It would have been in one corner of the main building, either in the microbiology department or in the pharmacology department. But projecting these two to my university and taking the help of Biocon again, Biocon gave a grant of $10,000 US for us to equip our animal house. We didn't have an animal house. So I pleaded with the university and got to it that first time we have a separate animal house for laboratory animals on good laboratory practices and CPCSA regulation standards. And we also formed by that time the Institutional Animal Ethics Committee as part of the CPCS. And with that $10,000 US from Biocon, and with the amount given by the university for the civil construction of the small animal laboratory house, we could build the lab animal house. And when we put it to Biocon again, Syngene International, the sister concern of it, then gave us cages, racks worth ₹60,000, and including transport, they gave it to the NTR College of Veterinary Sciences, Kannada. So from then on, we were doing well in the research area on lab animals. Now coming to the publication from our department, I was fortunate enough that one of my work was caught by Lambert Academic Publishing from Germany, and that Lambert Academic Publishing published my research work in the form of a book, Histological and Histochemical Studies on the testis and its system, and it's available on the Amazon. Now coming to the awards received by the faculty, I've already told you that in 2003 I received the Human Education Award from International Network of Human Education, England, and in 2008 we got the P.S. Lalita Selvarjyoti Award from IABA for the best publication in our Indian Journal of Technology. And I also got the Best Teacher Award from the Vets Association of Andhra Pradesh. And I was fortunate enough to get a Fellow National Academy of Veterinary Sciences in 2008, Fellow IABA in 2012, Fellow Academy of Sciences for Animal Welfare in 2016 for all the work that I have done towards animal welfare. And I was the Honorary Animal Welfare Board of India Honorary Animal Welfare Officer for 5 years from 1992 to 97. And being a CPCSC nominee of the Government of India Ministry of Animals and Forests since 2008, visiting over 50 laboratories and doing research work on lab animals. I also got this FESC, Academy of Sciences for Animal Welfare. And my colleague, Dr. Nagamalleswari, who worked here for 3 years, she has also got the Fellow IABA in the year 2015 while she was working in this department. There were a few student research awards also that were bagged by the students of this department. As I told you earlier, my first PG student who did the first research work on laboratory animals with the funding from Biocon with the US $8,000 grant, she got the K.S. Roy Award in the year 2011 from IABA. And then another MBSc scholar, Y. Nagendra Reddy, got the late Dr. T.S. Grover Memorial Award. And another PhD scholar, Reddy Dhyana, got the Dr. Mohan Bhattacharya Award. And another PhD scholar got the Vijayaraghavan Memorial Award in 2018. And now coming to the abroad visits by the faculty, you know you are seeing Dr. M.P.S. Tomar, and he went to China to attend an international training workshop on traditional Chinese medicine and techniques from 9/7/2018 to 28/7/2018 at Lanzhou University of Husbandry and Pharmaceutical Sciences, CAAS, sponsored by Ministry of Science and Technology, People's Republic of China. So the lab animal research, I said, we have completed 2 MVSCs and 3 MVSCs are doing research on lab animals, and 1 PhD scholar is again doing research on lab animals. And we are fortunate enough that we have an ongoing TST project again on lab animals. So we have a TST project, comparative evaluation of synthetic nanohydroxyapatite of bone regeneration in critical size calvarial bone defects in Wistar rats. And it's a project of 18,65,000, which will be executed during the years 2019, 20, 2021. And this project was initiated in December 2019, 14th of December 2019. And I could see that 1 PhD scholar, 1 MVSc scholar, and 2 MVSc previous scholars, all of them would be simultaneously working on the different systems of this rat. Of course, the second year PhD scholar, Dr. Anusha, is the one who is the actual investigator in the project. So we have seen to it that we take care of the 3 R's principles: reduction, replacement, and refinement. And we see to it that carcass is not wasted. So that way we are progressing in the area of lab animal science research. And this is a decently good museum. We cannot compare with Jabalpur or Malati or Tirupati or Chennai, to be frank. And with the floor space area limitations also that we have in the new colleges, this is a decently good museum. And if you see this skeleton, we have deliberately assembled it with the forelimbs separately in front, with the hind limbs separately behind, and with the trunk, because we teach biomechanics of locomotion in a very good way. So apart from all the other skeletons that we have, we deliberately assembled this. And mind you, this is a skeleton from an ethically sourced animal cadaver. I'll be explaining about that in the coming slides. So starting with the funding of 1 lakh rupees with the fiber optic resin models. These are the ones which I was talking about, and we purchased with the 1 lakh rupees given to us at that time. And these are in display in our museum. These are the other models. So these are the fiber optic resin models that we could get with the 1 lakh at that point. So from then on, we started focusing on humane education, because you know that we use animals, but the policy changes coming in the world are important, and we should not forget that we need to show compassion and respect for life, whatever level of sentience they may be, from the highest, that is the human being, from the lowest, maybe the invertebrates. Life is life. We need to show compassion and respect. And we have seen that there are many colleges in the West, veterinary colleges, who have done away with dissections, and yet their graduates are no way inferior to the graduates of other colleges who have used animals. So taking a cue from that, we thought that teaching objectives could also be met using non-animal alternatives. And sky is the limit if we think of that. But I focused on wild body specimens, and you will be seeing a number of specimens in my laboratory, whether they are skeletons or loose sets of bones. They are all from the wild body program, wherein we have initiated that concept, and we get ethically sourced donor cadavers. This was a skeleton of a donated Ongol bull, and one of my students who was working as veterinary assistant surgeon called me up in 2009 and said, "Sir, I remember that you told us about this concept. I am now working as a veterinary assistant surgeon here. This is a bull which was being used in draft competition, log pulling, stone pulling competition, and it tripped and it had a slight fracture of the femur. And it's a 1-ton weighing bull, and the owner doesn't know what to do with it. It is destined to die." So the owner got some treatment for it, but it died unfortunately. So then we picked up that, taking the consent of the owner that he is donating the cadaver to us, and from that we prepared this skeleton, which is in our laboratory, which is being used for cross anatomy. And this is from another such donated ox cadaver that we have prepared the loose bones. And this is the skeleton of a goose that was donated to us from the St. John's Public School, which is in Kannavar. And this is the skeleton of a Saint Bernard dog. This dog was about 8 years plus in age, and it was being treated in our teaching veterinary clinical complex for memory tumor. And after treatment, it finally succumbed. And the owner of this dog was convinced. It was so affectionate that they said that we will donate the Saint Bernard dog. We asked him to give him as a lamination of this. So this is the lamination of that skeleton that you are seeing. You can see the date of birth, you can see the date of death, and we have a chart depicting its life history. And incidentally, the dog's owner children were abroad, and the first thing that they came to their home was directly come to veterinary college, and they see the skeleton of this Saint Bernard. That was the association they had. So this is another, you know, the asil bird, a very huge bird. This is another fowl skeleton. This is also donated from one of the farm, and we have prepared the skeleton. This is a donor skeleton, and not just the skeletons. We have conducted the national workshop wherein we have seen we developed some cadaver embalming techniques, and these are all published. This is the perfusion and insufflation technique, and this is the stomach that we have gathered from our college LPT department, and using this perfusion and insufflation technique, we have prepared this specimen. And this is an aborted buffalo fetus. The abortion took place in one of the animal of our livestock farm complex. And we address all the departmental staff, especially pathology, LFC, TBCC, and those who maintain animals for research, and those which come to the postmortem section of the pathology department, that they will appraise us. We will appraise the owners. We'll take the consent with all the legal implications. We'll sign a contract and we'll take the body from them. And that donated cadavers we are being used. So this is one such aborted buffalo fetus. And we thought that we can do individual organ embalming also. So from those donor animals, when we prepare the skeletons, we take the organs also, and mimicking the natural course of circulation that occurs in the live animal, we have developed a few or more techniques wherein we can see that the organs can be embalmed from the donor animals. And these organs will really give us the feel and touch that are necessary for a hands-on experience, unlike the fiber optic resin models or the teakwood animal models. So we were successful in embalming the individual organs that have been retrieved from the donated cadavers. And we have published all these things. You can see one in the Indian Journal of Veterinary Anatomy. I always make it a point that every time, if I have 2, 3, or 4 articles, I send one to our IJVA because I feel it is our mother. I don't bother about the NASRED. First, I send to our IJVA, then only the remaining ones I send to the other journals. So, in the same line, the 3 publications, and mind you, these 3 techniques we demonstrated during the national workshop that we held on the 30th of August in 2019. It is not just the theory, we have practically done the demo by showing to all the participants. That was the hands-on workshop. The second one we have published in another good one, Exploratory Animal and Medical Research, and third one in International Journal of Livestock Research. So after that, we had good connections with other departments. The pathology department was also proactive in saying that when animals come for postmortem, they put a word to us. We speak to the owners, and this is one pup where the owner said that they would donate to the department. So we embalmed this donated pup cadaver, and we tried many techniques. We had another dog also, embalming the forelimb separately, embalming the hind limb separately, embalming both the forelimbs together, embalming the whole body. We have done all. So apart from that, as I said, a second angle on the national seminar and workshop that I organized as part of the Wild Body program was this workshop on Wild Body program and humane alternatives for laboratories in veterinary education. This is my gross anatomy laboratory. I was always thinking that students used to have a unclean idea of anatomy departments, smell, cadavers, that badly affected on their learning outcomes. So the concept of digitization. So if you see this laboratory, you are able to see 4 screens towards you, and in the center you are seeing one screen against you, and that is facing the teacher. The same picture the teacher is seeing, and it is not just these 5 screens. Towards the rear end of the department, you have 2 more screens turned towards the students. So my gross anatomy department, you can see this bar over here. There is a hanging HD video camera, and while performing the dissection live, this is a picture during the national workshop. It can be seen live, it is videographed, it is seen in all these multiple monitors at the same time, and it is also seen through the HDMI LED projector on the screen here. So live viewing, 7 HDMI multiple monitors hanging on the screen, and 1 LCD projection. And all these are recorded, and all these are there on the YouTube channel that we have, and these are given as freeware to the students. So this is the picture taken during the national workshop that we conduct. And another aspect of digitization is I never wanted to have a printer. So this is the e-compendium that we distributed to the participants. You see this is a 16 GB pen drive of the size of a credit card. This is the back side of the pen drive. And mind you, I just did this national workshop with hardly 10 printouts. 3 or 4 pages of hard copies to submit the proposal to the university, 1 letter addressed to the bank manager, and the program schedule that I put on the table for the guests during the inaugural. With just 10 hard copies, I completed this. This is available over the net, ResearchGate or all other things. Just push over the internet as an attachment. This is the e-compendium that we have got up. Go Green initiative. And mind you, we were happy that the PETA has expressed to donate 1 lakh rupees towards softwares for our department. The PETA representative from Mumbai attended our department. We have given him a lecture. And what you are seeing here is another donation, a ruminant stomach model. And mind you, this is made of paper, and this is made by hand, and this is made in Germany. And it takes 5 months, and transport takes 2 to 3 months. So this also came as a donation as part of the workshop that I conducted, and its name is Somso. It is $1,009. You see how beautiful the ruminant stomach. I put only these 2 pictures, the previous one and this one. So it is so well handmade with paper, and it is sturdy. So this is a good addition to our department. And with all the things that we have done as part of the workshop, and seeing from the media, there was one farmer who was nearly about 90 kilometers away from Gannavaram. Seeing from the print media and coming to know of this will body program concept, his horse accidentally fell on a pole and got injured here, and he died. With his own transportation cost, he donated this cadaver to our anatomy department. And from this, we are using all the teaching. And this is another farmer about 110 kilometers away from Gannavaram. And mind you, he was a student studying abroad. And he saw this in English newspaper. And from his place, knowing my contact, called me and The next day he was leaving abroad. The day before, he got this cow calf to our department saying that we want to donate this to your anatomy department and it will be useful for education. This is something like the body donation that you see in humans. Actually, these are the days where we, in a hi-fi manner, talk about 3D printed alternatives. So apart from all the different types of alternatives, the 3D computer aided design is the one that is leading the way to the printed alternatives. That means a reconstruction of the 3D physical models. That means instead of the earlier plaster of Paris models, or the fiber optic resin models, or the engraved teakwood models. Engraved teakwood models is not known. Only they have jumped using the technology to 3D printed alternatives. So a machine fabricates. It's a simple command in the computer after a great software design of a particular model using a printer with all the materials. That if you give a command of liver with all the specifications, a 3D printed liver model comes out like a piece of paper with printout. That is 3D printing. So alternatives 3D printing have come up, and cross sections of these models, rapid prototyping of the models. That is the concept of 3D printed alternatives. But it is very costly. The software is costly. The printing is costly. The material is costly. Overall, the output is costly. And it is very difficult for countries like us and even the advanced countries to have the 3D printed alternatives on a regular basis for teaching. A few of them we can have in our laboratory. But I thought what we could do in the Indian context, in the non-animal alternatives. So this is what I say we have done. The engraving of these models on teakwood, the best quality teakwood, and taking a cue from the Kondapalli toys which have a patent for engraving, we could get hold of a good engraver, convince him. It was really a Herculean task for us, asking him to come to our museum, sit, see the specimens, explain him the concept, give him the live specimens to see, ask him whether he could do it, negotiate the amount of money he needs for the amount of time he spends. Because if he spends a commercial angle, he'll get a lot of money. But we can't pay from our universities. But you could see how well he has engraved this brain model on teakwood. We have painted one side, we have labeled it, and we support it with index cards. So this is the teakwood model. This is the index card. So I wanted to encourage the self-study concepts. So with that in mind, with the expertise that that boy had, I called him on the national workshop inaugural function, and AIMS director was the chief guest. I honored that boy who did all this engraving. So after that, we saw to it that we could go ahead with a few more models. We feared that in the process of engraving, if a slight mistake happens, the entire thing would get spoiled. I think my PowerPoint got froze. Just we wait for a few seconds. I think it will resume. The slide is not moving. Maybe 2 or 3 comments given front and back. Let me wait. Please be patient. So with this in mind, we went ahead with making other models. So we made the models of heart, we made the model of the liver of dog, we made the model of kidney, and I'll be showing when my PowerPoint slide moves ahead. So all these models are there in our department, and we got exhausted all our resources and finances by that time, and we did not make further models. We could make 6 models, and 6 models are with us. My PowerPoint is not going ahead. Yeah. So this is the parietal view of the kidney model. This is the visceral view of the kidney model. This is the sagittal view of the head. That boy didn't even make a single mistake. And Dr. Raju, Dr. Tomar, myself sat hours together beside him in our museum with the pictures in hand, with the real specimen beside us, taking care to see that while engraving, no mistake happens. And we have Dr. Durga Prasad, an excellent artist who is my PhD scholar now. And during his college days, he got the national first prize in paintings through Zydus competition. And this artwork is the contribution of PhD scholar Dr. Durga Prasad. See how realistic it is. And this is all engraved on teak wood and painted on that. So this is the liver of dog, a visceral view. And this is also a difficult one to make. With the fiber optic resin models we got as part of the Humane Education Award, mimicking that this is made on teak. You see how well this teak wood model of a heart, lifelong, nothing will happen. This is the best quality teak. This is the index card which we use for supporting them. And then coming back to another picture that I would like to show. This is how you will see my gross anatomy laboratory. I am showing a bone sitting at the teacher's table in front of the video cam. And that is seen live on this projection screen here. 5 monitors, and you see these girls, they're looking to the rear of the gross anatomy laboratory. There are 2 more monitors there. So this is all HDMI enabled technology which enables multiple monitor viewing, and we have the hanging video cam here which can be moved across the width of the gross anatomy laboratory. You are focusing the ox here, you are focusing the horse here, you are having a dog skeleton here in the center table. Anywhere you can move the handicap, and you can move the entire length because we have a 30-meter cable, and bring the camera to any part of the gross anatomy laboratory. So in tune with this, I thought that instead of the other technologies that you have, like a multi-head microscope or a row microscope, or showing through one microscope with MIPS into one TV monitor, I thought I will see that my histology lab also has the HDMI enabled multiple monitor ceiling mounted screens. So here, with the use of MIPS, if you put one slide there, you see that it is projected on the screen. 4 screens here, and you see this girl looking towards the ear of the table. There are 2 more screens. So this is how we can conduct the gross anatomy, histology classes. And with the COVID, for the PG scholars, who be 1 or 2 or 3, for whom we can take class in our HOD's room itself. Here also I have a very big screen, and you see the 2 postgraduate students. We can take the histology class here because we cannot be in close proximity with our masks on. So the postgraduate teaching also, we use this digitization technology. And apart from this, what we projected during the workshop was, we know how hazardous formalin and all the chemicals that we use in our regular gross anatomy laboratory are. So I thought we should find an alternative to the use of these chemicals. The big formalin tanks, our attendants and technicians also were refused to work properly. So, in tune with that, I saw to it that we purchased freezers and coolers of large capacity so that the unembalmed specimens, like the cow calf that we have seen, like some of the organs that we have got from a naturally dead animal, which was not embalmed, we can increase their shelf life till the time we do embalming of the individual organs by putting them in freezers. So we have 4 good freezers. One of them is a eutectic technology. That means even in the absence of power, after a power cut, it will retain the set temperature inside for up to 8 to 10 hours. In addition to that, I have a 5.5 kVA UPS backup exclusively for this embalming, and not wanting to compromise on teaching while we are using the digitization. The entire department has another 5.5 kVA UPS backup. So if entire Kannavaram has a power cut, the anatomy department will still be working with all digitization. Now, another area that we wanted to enter into was the clinical anatomy and the use of digital imaging techniques. This cue I got when people from the Indian Society for Veterinary Cardiology, Indian Society for Small Animal Practice used to call me for lead papers or invited lectures for their symposia. I got a very good insights into the digital imaging techniques. So I thought, why not we apply that in anatomy? So we have done computed radiographic studies on the vertebral horsepower in dogs on the heart. There was one parallel study, I think that was also at the same time, and we both have done. Other people would have also done some of them. There was one more parallel study at that time, somewhere extreme north. So we entered into the clinical aspect using the digital imaging techniques, and not just wanting to compromise on the computer radiographic findings. For all these works in the research aspect, I included the hematological and serum biochemical profiles also to countermatch the findings of the computer radiographic studies. And this was done on 3 different breeds of dogs, a brachycephalic, a mesenterocephalic, and dolichocephalic dog, to generate the reference values in the Indian context. So one of my students, Sweta, got her MBSc, and one PhD scholar and another MBSc scholar. Ongoing, they have temporarily discontinued, and their works were also on the computer radiographic studies. And this is the anatomy YouTube channel. I think you all should be knowing by this time. In multiple times, I have projected this. This is the YouTube link. We'll be pasting in the chat box, and this is linked to the Sri Venkateswara Veterinary University website. And this is the first YouTube channel, I think, from the university, especially anatomy. And we have named it Build Body Program, Kannavaram, AP, India. So there are a number of videos available, and all the cadaver embalming technique videos. And for some time when we were doing good, every Saturday morning session, each one of our faculty were videographing one lecture as a practical demonstration to be put on the YouTube, but due to time constraints and human resource faculty constraints, we could not do much. And as I was told in the previous lectures, Maya Madam was telling, always we have additional duties. Till now, I think for 26 years, I had some additional duty or the other. My colleague Dr. Raju, my colleague Dr. Tomar, he is the NCC officer. We all have so many additional duties of admin nature in the college that we have a time constraint. So this is our YouTube channel. You can see all the videos. Just a screenshot of the YouTube channel homepage. Simply click Build Body Program Kannavaram AP India. Don't bother about the YouTube link address. It will take you to this channel. Simple. This is a small room where we have few almirahs. With just this backdrop, we were videographing our lecture demonstration videos to be put in the YouTube. Of course, this is only for the phones and all that we can bring into the room and videograph. All other things we are doing in the laboratory. So in addition to this, we use all the educational resources. Usha Madam has said that so many e-resources are available. We have purchased all of them. And my concentration was on this PAL video lectures and PAL video dissections. That is an MHRT concept that is called as professor assisted learning. And those were the videos that we developed, and those are the ones that are available in the YouTube. We have been a bit slow in preparing more of PAL videos, but we will be improving on. So we need to meet the new challenges that continuously come up. One of the important challenges is healthy animal sacrifice. And how do we find alternatives? We have found out in the form of cadaver embalming. And I was there in Junagadh when Vishnu Dev Kumar was organizing one workshop, giving a demo on the cadaver embalming. Other thing is use of the human organs. So we need to find non-animal models, which should be the human alternatives, coupled with digitization of laboratories. Of course, radiological anatomy, most of us we use, collecting all the radiographs. Now we have the digital radiographs because we all have the CR, computed radiography, computed X-ray. So these will all help us to deliver high quality education. And we need to get a lot of future directions, which we should focus and which should be, as I have said, Maya Madam has also said, problem-based learning. A student-centered education with self-study concepts. And education should not be unidirectional from the teacher to the learner. It should be from the learner to the teacher, and it should be bi-directional. So the self-study concepts or the problem-based learning will also help in these angles. And if we can have the finances like the Tirupati Anatomy Department has, if you could get 6 lakhs, 10 lakhs through a project, we could go for like what Jagavati has projected, the 3D virtual simulations, or we can go for 3D printed alternatives. They are available in the market internationally. Only thing is we should have the funds to purchase these 3D printed alternatives, because 3D printed alternatives are not being printed in India. So whatever is it, this virtual tool, what we have seen from the departments that are presented, is really an excellent one in giving us insights to reach the international standards. And why to reach the international standards? To set international standards. Why India should always think we should reach international standards? India should set international standards. We are in the process of setting international standards. From what you have seen, from what other departments have done and are doing and will continue to do, we set international standards. I have colleagues abroad, anatomists. Like I said, I wanted to gather 3 people to give good lectures. One from Boston, Mr. Amarendra Kumar, well settled there, working as anatomy professor in a medical school. And another one, our Venkateshan from Jamaica. But both of them, due to their own reasons, said that due to the time zone difference and all, they could not take part in these days. And we have one anatomist from Massey University, Kavita, anatomy senior lecturer from Massey University, New Zealand. who will be delivering the lead lecture on 29th. So we should be setting certain standards that other countries should think that they are international standards. That should be the future direction that we should give to the budding anatomists. Why not we set international standards? So if you take it as a challenge and if you work with commitment, if you adopt the technologies, we will set international standards. Countries will look up to us. Medical fraternity will look up to us. It was with that reason that during the national workshop that I organized, I called the AIMS director, who was really surprised to see the department. I never thought veterinary anatomy department would be like that. I called one medical college anatomy madam, professor and head, to give a lecture on human cadaver embalming. It was really a very good one and a lead presentation coming from the Aristotle days or even before when history started in human medicine. And she was surprised what we were doing in veterinary anatomy. So make collaborative efforts with the medical and allied fields, project our veterinary anatomy, see that other people come to know of our importance, and you will see that the journey of a flight will be ascending, ascending, and ascending. So I thank you all for being part of this virtual tour. I really thank you, and I will be happy that all these participants can give a feedback not only to my virtual tour, to the entire virtual tour sessions that happened in this. And if more departments come forward, I would be happy to organize part two of this. Most departments express their inability due to different reasons, as I have listed, either COVID, Dasara, or technology aspect, to participate, especially in these 3 days. So once again, I thank all. I thank the chairperson and the rapporteur. I thank internet connectivity for not causing any disturbance during my talk. I thank the electricity authorities, but don't bother. Our department is fully UPS backed up. I thank everyone. I think those who helped me help this department. I have acknowledged during the course of the lecture itself. So a big thanks to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. P.V.S. Kishore, Organizing Secretary, for his excellent tour to department with the title A Flight Towards Excellence. So he elaborately given everything about the department activities. I think very much impressed all you participants. If any questions are there, please you can ask questions to Dr. P.V.S. Kishore. Any questions, Tomar? Any questions in the chat box?
Sir, no questions, sir. Only appreciations are there, sir. And sir, one announcement is there. We are having one international anatomist now, Dr. Pamela from Bosnia. She is
Okay,
also
okay.
there in our web conference, sir.
We welcome her on screen.
Dr. Pamela, please switch on your video.
Dr. Pamela, we welcome you to come on screen.
She is on the screen, sir, now. But
Yeah.
I think because of light, her video is not that much clear.
Don't mind.
She is
Could
a
you
very
please,
good anatomist from Bosnia, sir. She works in a different field of anatomy, and she is excellent scientist also, sir.
Anyway,
Madam,
Dr.
please
Pamela,
interact with us.
welcome to you.
Join it because I have a class today. And I hope this will be a good meeting to all of us.
Ma'am, entire session is available in our YouTube channel, Build Body Program. So if you have missed anything, you can watch there also. All the presentations, all the lectures are available there, ma'am.
Great, great.
Thank you, madam, for participating in this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. If you can, please interact with us. Your experiences. We welcome that.
और चल रहा है। इसी कड़ी में विश्वविद्यालय के द्वारा जो अपना एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन था वो भी आयोजित किया गया था और उसके आयोजन
Sir, we can carry on, sir.
Okay, Dr. Pamela, will you be interacting with us for a few moments? Your experiences?
I have, yes, I have
Yeah,
a
please.
problem with the network. I'm trying to solve it.
Yeah, we'll wait.
I'm here.
Yeah.
My camera is bad.
We have seen your registration. We felt very happy that you have registered to participate in this.
Thank you for inviting me. I hope that I will learn today something new from Asia. I expect only good work.
Since how long were you there with us? Since this
10
morning?
minutes, maybe I had a class before it.
Okay. Yeah, you can interact and tell your experiences, your teaching methodologies, research methodologies. We would be glad to hear from you. There is no time constraint. There is no time constraint.
Okay.
Please tell us.
Dr. Pamela, if you want to share your experience, you can share among us.
Yes, I have. I will watching the presentation later. Now I'm just joined, so I cannot comment anything before this.
So what type of practices you are using for your UG and PG teaching in your country?
We use different methods of teaching. Mostly is a practice work with our students. In PhD, we have 2 laboratories, and students mostly give their own idea for PhD experiments. So I don't know what exactly now I need to talk about.
Okay. Sir, can we proceed further, sir?
Yeah. Just Dr. Pamela, you have completed?
I didn't understand that.
Yeah. Would you like to still interact, or we'll go to the next speaker?
Yes, you better to go to next speaker because I just joined it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for the information of all. and for the information of specifically Dr. Raju and Dr. Tomar, we have on screen now Dr. Sri Ranjani, who missed her presentation in the morning. And we are glad that just by the time we were about to complete, Dr. Sri Ranjani is here. And just please hold on. Yeah, please tell. Hello? Dr. Tomar, please make Dr. Sri Ranjani co-host. The presentation she missed in the morning, she has just joined in time and she will present.
Sir, I already made her host, sir, co-host.
Yeah. I have informed her.
Share your screen.
Okay, madam, Dr. Sri Ranjani, please continue your presentation, madam. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. She has started.
Madam. Yeah. It's coming.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes. You can.
Audible, ma'am. Please carry on.
Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to all. First of all, I request your pardon from all the respected organizers because I was not well. I could not join on time, but I am very. Now is it clear, sir?
Madam, you continue.
Okay. So the topic of my presentation is prospects of anatomical research with special reference to development of biomaterials. So this includes an introduction about what is biomaterial properties, then classification, applications, then some natural biomaterials that are available in the market, then conclusion and references. So every year, millions of people die due to severe burn injuries, then accidents, organ failures, etc. And in such cases, earlier we used to transplant the organs or tissues, either by means of autograft or by allograft or by xenograft or isograft. But the problem with this transplantation is the chances of rejection by the host tissue. This led to the scientists to think about some alternatives and led to the development of biomaterials in the field tissue engineering. This incorporates these biomaterials. And according to the American National Institute of Health, this biomaterial is defined as any substance or a combination of substances other than drugs, which may be synthetic or natural in origin and can be used for any period of time and helps to replace or augment partially or totally any tissue, organ, or body function. And thus it helps to maintain or improve the quality of an individual or an animal. So first, let us see, to be a biomaterial, what should be the properties that are to be possessed by any material? Among this, the first important property is biocompatibility, then comes the biodegradability, then mechanical properties, architecture, and manufacturability. So let us see what is biocompatibility. This indicates the biological performance of any material when it is introduced into the body of the donor. So once a biomaterial is introduced, the cells within the body, they should migrate to the site of implantation of the biomaterial. They should adhere to that area, and there they should function properly. They should proliferate there to just before starting or secreting the extracellular matrix. And most of all, important thing is that they should cause only minimal reaction. So if a biomaterial possesses all these qualities, we can say that it is biocompatible. Then the second property is biodegradability. Once we transplant or introduce any biomaterial, eventually when the body starts to function, body tissue starts to function, eventually this should be replaced by the body's own cells. And this should allow the cells to produce their own extracellular matrix. And the products of degradation of this biomaterial should be non-toxic. And gradually it should exit the body without any interference. So if a material satisfies all these conditions, we can say that it has good biodegradability. Then the third property is mechanical property. Once a biomaterial is introduced to a particular site, its properties should be consistent with the anatomical site into which that is introduced, and it should have enough strength to allow surgical handling during transplantation, and there should be mechanical integrity so that it functions from the time of implantation to the completion of the remodeling process. So mechanical properties of the biomaterial should be ideal. Then architecture. This is very important. This biomaterial, it should have enough pore structure or porosity so that the cells from adjacent tissues, they should penetrate the biomaterial and allow the diffusion of nutrients to the construct from the extracellular matrix and the waste products to the extracellular matrix without any interference to body's normal function. So the porosity or the architecture of the biomaterial is very important. Then the next property is manufacturability. So we are developing these biomaterials actually within the laboratory settings. And these findings, they should be transferable to a factory. So they should be machinable, they should be moldable, and they should be commercially viable or economically viable. And moreover, the availability is very important. Always the surgeon prefers or the clinician prefers the off-the-shelf use of any biomaterial. The storage conditions of the biomaterial should be more convenient. So this refers to the manufacturability of the biomaterial. So now let us see what are the different types of biomaterials. They may be natural or synthetic, depending upon the source from which we are producing or making these biomaterials. Okay, so first let us see some of the synthetic biomaterials. Mostly metals, ceramics, then polymers and composite biomaterials come under this classification. Coming to the metals, we know that metals, they are strong and tough. So they are widely used as load-bearing implants, especially in knee prostheses and fracture fixatives. Some of the metals which are used as biomaterials are stainless steels, which are used in fractures, which have good biocompatibility and corrosion resistance. Then cobalt chromium alloys, which are used in dental implants and also in vascular conditions. Then titanium and titanium alloys, which are used in dental implants. So all these are coming under the metallic type of synthetic biomaterials. Then the next category of synthetic biomaterials are polymers. These polymers have very good flexibility, and they have biocompatibility, and they are more resistant to biochemical attack, and hence they are used to make artificial cartilages, then contact lens material, etc. Synthetic polymers. Then comes ceramics. These are very hard and brittle and resistant to corrosion and wear, and hence they are more used. They have very good electrical and thermal insulation, and they are used mostly in orthopedic and dental implants. Then some of the composite biomaterials in which the natural elastic modulus of the tissues are altered are used mostly in the dental implants. They are also synthetic biomaterials. Coming to the natural biomaterials, they are usually produced from animals or plants, that is from in vivo sources. They are comparatively cheap and constantly available. And if we see some of the naturally available biomaterials, they can be collected from silk, then polysaccharides, fibrinogen, collagen. All these are examples for sources of natural biomaterials. So the silk contains proteins called fibroin and sericin, and these are usually used in bone, cartilage, and ligament repair. Then polysaccharide-based biomaterials contain sugar monomers. They may be also plant or animal origin, and they're usually used as three-dimensional hydrogel injections, which are used in wound healing, cell growth, and differentiation. Examples are agarose, which is used in red seaweed, which are usually used in immunologically inert, so which are very commonly used. Then alginate, which is obtained from brown algae, which is an acidic compound, which is used for biomaterial. Then hyaluronine, which is also an animal-derived polysaccharide, which is used in wound healing and tissue repair. Then chitosan, which is obtained from the arthropod exoskeleton by the deacetylation of chitin, which is an exoskeleton. And this is the biomaterials which are developed from this are used in wound dressings. Then fibrinogen, which is a three-dimensional meshwork obtained from blood plasma. It is 100% biocompatible and it is used in wound healing. Now coming to the matter which is of interest to us is the natural biomaterials of animal origin. So these biomaterials are usually produced from either soft tissue or hard tissue, and mostly the tendons, then skin, cornea, pericardium, all these are ligaments, all these are used as soft tissue sources of biomaterials. Then bone, cuticle, etc. are used as hard tissue sources of biomaterials. So when we consider these animal-based biomaterials, collagen is one of the most important source, and it is we all know that it is very abundant connective tissue fiber, and it is most frequently used and studied material, and it has good biocompatibility, biodegradability, and also immune tolerance. So it is most widely used. We know that there are several types, 2, 3, 4 like that, nearly about 29 types of collagen are there. Out of this, the type 1 is mostly used for preparation of biomaterials because it produces minimal reactions in the host. And in our histology stainings, we used several staining methods to detect the areas where collagen is present. Special stainings like Van Giessen, in which the collagen is seen in red color, muscle in yellow color, and nucleus in blue-black color. Then in trichrome staining, in which the collagen will be blue in color and muscle will be pink in color. Then comes the trichrome, another trichrome. Here also the collagen will be blue in color, muscle red, nuclei will be blue or black. Then Picrocereus red stain. Here also the collagen will be red in color, background will be pale yellow, nucleus will be gray or black in color. Then immunohistochemical methods also help us to detect the collagen depending upon the coloring agent used. Here collagen is seen as brown in color. So because of this property of collagen, because of the high biodegradability, biocompatibility, and also easy availability from animal sources, we can make decellularized matrices. That means we are removing all the cells from the tissues. Suppose if we take a piece of tendon, we are processing it and we are removing all the cells from that one. That is decellularized matrix. And further, if we are purifying this one for use in the animal body, then we call it as scaffolds. So in our laboratory, we can take tissue pieces and we can decellularize these tissues and produce decellularized matrix. Usually 3 methods are used for decellularization: physical methods, chemical methods, and enzymatic methods. So here that in physical method, we use temperature and pressure, like freeze thawing. Then chemical methods, you make use of surfactants, then acids or alkalis or chelating agents like EDTA, or we can use enzymes like trypsin or DNases. So by these 3 methods, we can remove the cells. Why we have to remove the cells from these tissues? Because if this tissue, the biomaterial which we make contains cells, they will cause immune reactions in the host. So our aim is to remove all the cells and at the same time preserve all the qualities of or the properties of the extracellular matrix. And this extracellular matrix acts as a template for the body cells to come and multiply and to cover if it is a larger wound, burn wound, etc. Okay, so first we decellularize. After decellularization, we have to examine, assess the extent of decellularization, and this can be done by histology. Already we have seen there are several special staining techniques. Then electron microscopy, usually scanning electron microscopy helps us to see whether the structure, all cells are removed, the porosity of the tissue, etc. Then we assess the content of DNA, whether nucleus is remaining. Then we can do again special nuclear stainings like DAPI staining to find out any remnant of nucleus is there in the tissue. Then we have to assess the mechanical or physical properties of the tissue, whether it is retaining the properties of the tissue from which we have removed the cells. So we have to subject all these after decellularization to assess the extent of decellularization. And after that, before applying onto the body of the animal, we should sterilize this decellularized matrix to prevent contamination or prevent multiplication of the infective agents in the donor. And for this, we subject this biomaterial, this our matrix, to physical or chemical methods. In physical methods, usually we use heat, but heat usually denatures some of the proteins, and so irradiation is gamma irradiation is most commonly used. It has good penetration, and at the same time it kills the microbes. Then chemical methods like use of alcohols or gases also can be used. But in the case of physical method of sterilization, after each step we have to properly wash the biomaterial. And in chemical also we have to ensure that the remnant of these chemicals which we use are not remaining in the decellularized matrix. These are some of the materials that are produced from collagen. Collagen sponges, which are insoluble forms of proteins, which are used as wound dressings. Then instead of producing a decellularized matrix, we can make it extract the collagen and make it into an injectable form or gel form, and we can give it as subcutaneous injection, which is used in plastic and reconstructive surgery. Then we can make films or membranes. For us being anatomists, we can concentrate more on such type of materials, the film membranous structures or bioscaffolds, which are biocompatible and thin porous structures. In electron microscopy, we'll be able to see the porosity like this, then bone and cartilage regeneration. For all these bioscaffolds can be used. So these scaffolds, as we have described the properties of an ideal biomaterial, which this allows sufficient transport of gases and nutrients. It is biodegradable. It has causes minimal degree of inflammation and toxicity. So they can be used in several fields like ophthalmology, drug delivery, gene therapy, wound healing, and also in tissue repair. So these are, this is what I want to tell about the decellularization, and these are some of the applications of the biomaterials. They are used in orthopedics, in ocular implantation, in the industry, then in plastic surgery. Then it is used as drug delivery systems in gene therapy. Then they are used as the biosensors, and also they are used as the scaffolds. Like this is a piece of meniscus like this. And these are some of the naturally derived biomaterials which are obtained from animal sources and which are available in the market. One is Oasis wound matrix. This is prepared from pig subintestinal mucosa. It is used as a dressing, wound dressing. Then Promogran, it is obtained by combining bovine type 1 collagen and also cellulose. Then Sargisis, this is actually a variant of this Oasis, and this is used in hernia. It is considered as a very strong than the usual mesh that is used for the hernia. Then Integra, this is also a wound matrix which is prepared from the collagen 1 from bovine tendon and also from shark skin. So these are examples of some of the naturally derived biomaterials from the animals, and we can also, we are studying the animals as the type species as ox, and we can study the structures which we are throwing as waste materials in the slaughterhouses. We can think of making useful products like this from the materials. We can, being anatomists, I think we can, if it is smaller projects, we can develop up to this stage. And further, these biomaterials, they have, once we made the cellular matrix, so then this has to be tested in animals for their immunogenicity and also their other biodegradability and all other actions. And for assessing such reactions, you should, anyway, we need the support from other departments like clinical departments and also pathology departments. So this biomaterial, the field of biomaterial research, it is, it helps to to prolong the life of animals or individuals. And because of this, it is a very major focus of research around the globe. It is $1 million business in most of the West. Since we need the cooperation from other departments, this requires a multidisciplinary approach and collaborative research. These are some of the references, and that is what. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your excellent presentation on biomaterials. Though your health is not cooperating with you, so you have present very good information. And I think all the participants, if any questions are there, you can ask. questions to Dr. Madam Sri Ranjan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any questions are there, Tomar, in the chat box?
Sir, no question, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sri Ranjani. It was really a good information. But for the information of all, I would like to tell that in this College of Veterinary Science, Gannavaram, we have done a research on biomaterials. And there was a DBT project in the Department of Veterinary Surgery, where the surgery professor, myself as a member of the advisory committee for one student, and the microbiology professor, we were all there. And we have done a DBT project as a PG students research very much here, exactly what you have said. And that was done, I think, 6-7 years back. He is faculty now, Dr. Mahesh. He is working as a faculty in the Department of Veterinary Surgery in our university. And what that project was all about was using the fish swim bladder as a scaffold.
Okay, sir.
You know, this is the coastal area. We have the fishes, and the fish swim bladder was found as an inert material with less cellularization. So there was a wound created, and we did a hernioplasty using the decellularized fish swim bladder. And we have done the decellularization using the enzyme way, and we have done the assessment with both histology and immunogenicity, and we have done the sterilization using alcohol. And this decellularized fish swim bladder was grafted onto the wound that was caused on rabbits. And the study went on very well, and the healing was very good. And we are very happy that the DBT project of the surgery professor came out very well. And myself and the microbiology professor were part of the advisory committee of the student. And we are very happy that student has now become a faculty in our very own university. So this research on biomaterials is being done. And another information that I would like to tell in parallel is the lab animal research, the DST project that I got now, and my PG student, Dr. Anusha, is working upon in the 18.65 lakh DBT project is again on biomaterials. And here, the scaffold that we are taking is to bridge the wound or the defect that we have created in the bone, in the calvarium, in the parietals of rat. We have created bilateral defects on the parietal bones, on the calvarium of rat, and we are providing the scaffold in the defect to see how the osteocytes migrate and bridge the gap. So our DST project ongoing now is also on biomaterials. The previous one was on the visceral organs in rabbit. This is on bone regeneration in rats. So we are already into it, and it is quite possible what you have all explained. If people could write for a project and get it, like the surgery project we got from DBT for rabbits, and the DST project that we have for the rats on bone regeneration, it is quite possible to take a lead from what you said and from what we have done for any other one to go ahead with research on biomaterials. Good, you have explained very clearly for everyone to understand what the applications of biomaterials would be in research. And I think I have said that we have already applied that in one aspect, applying another one currently now. And it is possible. Only thing is we should get some funding. That is the only thing. Because universities' funding will not be sufficient for a PG or PhD research. We should go for a funding. And then it is quite possible. And there are umpteen number of ideas that you can go for the use of biomaterials. like the visceral organs or even on bone injection, whatever. Good. Thank you for joining and making this day complete. The only lacuna was we thought we missed Sri Ranjani's lecture the whole day, and you just caught in time. I finished my lecture and we were thinking whether to leave or not. Dr. Pamela held us on, and I think the Pamela is still here. She would have heard Dr. Sri Ranjani on the biomaterials. And it's a nice ending, a good work. And over to the chairman.
Excuse me.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Kishore sir, all the organizers and chairman, Dr. Raju sir, and all the audience for attending this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. With this the topic, we have finished today's sessions, both the sessions 1A and 1B. So altogether 7 presentations we got, and all the 7 speakers they presented their papers well, and apart from this, other international participant also is there. Pamela, Dr. Pamela is there, so she might have gone through these presentations. Thank you one and all for this today sessions, and participants who all they
Sir,
patiently listened all these.
sir, now I would like to conclude with the report of the session, sir.
Yes, please.
First about since the one session was starting from the morning itself, so my report is little bit longer, but I will complete everything within 5 minutes. So please have patience. The first session for this National Web Conference on Advances in Teaching and Research in Veterinary Anatomy in India was started with virtual tour of the Department of Veterinary Anatomy and Histology, CVAS, Manuti, Kerala. One of the very old and well-established college in country, and the presentation was given by Dr. S. Maya ma'am. The college was part of the various universities at different time, and the department was started as composite with the surgery department, and finally as individual department. The extensive work on skeleton of Indian elephant, viscera of elephant, goat, duck, Japanese quail, etc. was well explained during the presentation. The mentions about the methodological practices was also focused. The teacher-centered learning and the student-centered learning were one of the highlighted content during the presentation. Second presentation was given by Dr. Jagpati Ramaiah sir from Tirupati on the history and the glimpses of the veterinary anatomy in Tirupati Anatomy Department. He started with establishment of the department and the medals and awards initiated at college in name of their first head of the department. The highlight of the presentation was one of the best museum in the country and is part of media in digital and printed form. The specimen of smallest bone to larger one are the center of attraction in the presentation. The wet specimens are also there, which were well organized. Embryological specimen of many species are well maintained. More than 300 publications were made from the department, with one textbook on developmental anatomy and one upcoming textbook on fundamentals of veterinary anatomy was also discussed. The video of 3D virtual dissection was the center of attraction from the department, what they have developed with one private firm. Then the Dr. V. Supriya presented scientific aspect of flow cytometry, and she detailed about various components, principles, and importance of flow cytometry. Then in afternoon session, Dr. Rakhi Vyas ma'am gave presentation on a ride of veterinary anatomy in Jabalpur from establishment in 1948 to develop as university. Department was founded under Dr. Chelwai Iyengar sir, who contributed in Anatomy of Ox, the book from ICAR. Then Dr. A.M. Srivastava, who was the founder president of IAVA, was also belonging to the same department. And so many eminent anatomists were from the Nagpur Veterinary College, and now they have the dried specimen, wet specimen, taxidermy specimen, artificial models were also shown during the presentation. After that, Dr. Payal Jain took over and continued about the teaching aids in research highlights. Arrangement of comparative specimen were well explained. Second post-lunch presentation was given by Dr. Usha Kumari ma'am, one of the oldest college in the country, the Madras Veterinary College, and she gave on the virtual tour of Department of Veterinary Anatomy, Madras Veterinary College, Chennai. She told about the well-developed laboratories, museum, dissection hall was the highlight of the presentation. Development of digital teaching aid in one of the biggest contribution by MVC, Department of Veterinary Anatomy. Third and last presentation of the day was Gannavaram, discussed by Dr. PVS Kishore sir on Department of Veterinary Anatomy, Gannavaram, a flight towards excellence. With innovative methodologies in center, the focus of the presentation was on various development in research and teaching from inception of the department. Being pioneer in digitized laboratories in veterinary anatomy, the department serves as an inspiration for many other departments. A dedicated YouTube channel is also launched by the department. Dr. Sri Ranjini, in last, she had the health issue, so she could not present in morning session. So in last, she presented and explained the prospects of anatomical research and development of biomaterials. Development of biomaterials is the need of this hour in surgeries with heavy loss of the tissue. She very well elaborated about various aspects of biomaterials, that is the compatibility, availability, biodegradability, and other properties of the biomaterials. A very well explanation was made by her. A total attendance of the session from morning to evening, it was about more than 130 in Zoom platform, and many others simultaneously was watching live streaming on our YouTube channel. I have shared the link of our YouTube channel in the chat box. You can all go through that one. Please watch. If any session or any presentation is missed in that, today's presentation, you can watch in YouTube live also. Thank you.
Thank you, Tomar. Thank you all the participants. And today's presentation for over and over to organizing secretary.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Raju and Dr. Tomar for conducting this day-long session. It was a really fruitful one. And before we end the day, I would like to inform all about the guidelines that we have circulated earlier, the different guidelines to participants, competing presenters, chairpersons and reporters, because it is going to be very important from tomorrow onwards, because tomorrow session morning will be the award session, and it will go on till day after tomorrow evening. And there will be competition among the participants. We'll start with the session 2 tomorrow at 10 a.m. and that will be the assistant professor awards session. Kindly those who are here and to others to whom you know, please see that these guidelines are stuck to, that the identity of the presenter to the maximum extent should not be revealed, and they should tell only with their code name. If possible, rename the Zoom screen name. Don't give any hint of your place or material collection place in your material methods. Don't mention in your bank slide. Judges are remotely located. 3 judges will be giving their independent judgment sheets and will be compiling. And that will be the order of conducting for the other sessions also on the afternoon of tomorrow. That is for the MVSC Scholars Award session and PhD Scholars Award session. So I request the chairpersons and reporters, whoever are here, to please kindly note and indicate very clearly the code name of the presenters, because the judges should have the continuity of the code name of the presenter. We will ensure all that, and we will see that everything is falling in line. So that is regarding these guidelines. And as Tomar has put in, we will have a new Zoom joining link tomorrow and a new joining link per day after. And you must have got 2 feedback session links today, one in the forenoon and one in the afternoon. Similarly, the next 2 days also, you will be getting 2 feedback links, one in the forenoon, one in the afternoon. So out of a total of 6 feedback links, the registered participants should be submitting at least 5 feedback forms to be eligible to get the web conference certificate. So please convey this to all our colleague anatomists, faculty, or students. So these are the few things I wanted to share before we wind up. I sincerely thank everyone who has been on this Zoom platform, hosts, to the guests, to the participants. Really, you made this concept of mine a very fruitful one, and we didn't miss any presenter today, and it was really very good that we learned through the virtual tools from the different departments, and I think the presenters from those departments would have derived very good satisfaction by showcasing their department, their heritage. So thank you all. We will end the meeting and we'll join tomorrow 9:50 a.m. sharp with a new Zoom joining link. And before we end the meeting, as it is customary, we just make it an open session for a few minutes for anyone to unmute themselves and interact if they wish to. We will just give enough time. We will wait. Anybody can unmute and speak anything with respect to this, either a feedback or a suggestion, whatever you name it. So now the session is open before we wind up. Open for anybody to mute themselves and come up. Is there anyone who wants to unmute and interact? We'll wait for a few more seconds and then we'll be ending the meeting. Okay, we'll all be communicating through the WhatsApp groups and all, and any clarification is required, like we still were getting throughout the day. It is open for you all to contact any one of us, and we'll be glad to help. Thank you, and we will be ending the meeting. Thank you again. Please end the meeting, Dr. Gaur.
Okay, sir. Thank you, all the participants, all the speakers of the day. Now we are ending our